Welcome back, friends and family, to the show about fishing random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. I kind of botched that one because we were laughing so hard coming out of the break. This is the Real AF TV podcast. In case you're just grabbing this on the Friday when it drops on our off week, we are about to get into the random take of 40 before 40, 40 after 40. Okay. I just got to tell the story because I didn't know how to explain it before.
Okay.
We're listening to the radio, and they're talking about 40 something 40. And
Okay.
I'm just like, okay, I'll Google 40 before 40 because I think that's what they had. Bam, dude. This is like the thing. Like,
okay,
fucking blew up
I suppose
like it
New
was just
Year's.
a trend.
Yep.
So it's a trend. So it's trending. 30 before
Yeah.
30, 40. I tried other numbers too because I was like, okay, I got to check this out. So the 40 before 40, it's the new way to say bucket list. That's what it is.
It's like a bucket list you got to do before you're older than 40.
Yeah.
And people that are 39 just hit that.
Yep.
You're in that final year and your New Year's resolution. 40 before you're 40 with the New Year's resolution, you got to do 40 what?
Right.
Burpees.
40 burpees. That's
40,
it. That's
40
all it is. That's all we're just going to talk about. Dude, could you do 40 burpees in a row before you turn 40 years old? Go. Do you think you can?
In a row? I haven't done it for a while. I doubt I could do 40 in a row.
I was totally kidding.
I could do 40 in a couple sets, but I mean, like, if I'm being real, probably not 40 in a row.
Fuck no,
I mean, like, if that's the goal, if the goal is to eventually be able to do 40,
right?
Give me a little bit of time.
Right.
Yeah, I'll
Pull
make it happen.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. That sounds lame.
Speaking of lame, okay, so this is totally like your bucket list, like 40 before 40. And the funny thing is everyone I read, it's just a blog. It's just some blog. So it's just like a blogger trend right now. And everybody who's writing this is our age. Like you can't fucking write this 2 years, a year, 16 weeks before you turn 40 years old. Like,
right.
You can't
it's so stupid
fucking write it.
Here's the things you have to do. Yeah.
Dickheads.
Here's the things you have to do before you're 40. That's what it is.
So, yes, essentially, the intent of it is that you do these 40 things before you're 40, but I can tell you every blog that I read, it's everybody in their late 30s fucking making this 40 before 40 list. And I'm just like, you guys are ridiculous. Like, you have a few years to pull off these 40 things. And on that note, I will kick you off with some of the lame shit. Like one of the reoccurring ones I saw was get healthy.
Like, what's your ideal healthy? Like, healthier than what I'm doing now, or like completely healthy? Like, I'm just supposed to go on some sort of a health kick? Go suck a fart. Put some sort of a nice list together, not some vague bullshit that you just have to like. That just feels like you had a space to fill, and you're just like, get healthy. I suppose would be like a good one. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Like
that's just every New Year's resolution. You're just putting in a list and saying, I got to complete it before I'm 40. And like, who are you to say you got to get it done before 40 when you're 38? There's like a 42-year-old out there that's just like, this is complete bullshit. I can still do all of this stuff. Why did I have to do it before I was 40? Now I got nothing. Now I'm in my 40s and I got not shit to do. Because I did the 40 things before I was 40.
That's exactly what I was saying. It's like, that was why I put it down as a lame ass fucking thing. Is it's too vague. It's so fucking vague. Like, what does that even mean? Like, get healthy.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid. Other stupid things that I saw, they were like New Year's Eve, like you put it. They were like New Year's resolutions, dude.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Face a fear. Motherfucker, you're almost 40 years old. You ain't faced a fear. You're full of fucking shit.
Yeah, I faced a bunch of them. Check them off the list. But you trying to tell me I got to go face a new fear?
I faced a fear this week. Thanks. The dipshit.
If there's a fear that I haven't faced yet, it's for good reason. Tell me I got to go face a fear. No thanks. I am a father. I gotta go face a fear, like put my life on the line just because you put out a stupid ass list. I like this. You were like, we're gonna get deep, and instead, I'm just like, I'm here to roast this stupid ass list.
I did. You're right. I did say that earlier in the podcast. I was like, get strap in. We gonna get deep. You better get in a different mind. Well,
yeah,
we may.
We might.
We could, because I got
it's
some
not
stuff.
Looking definitely good so far.
The number one on the list is, but I wanted to kick it off with a little humor because we came onto the break laughing so fucking hard that I wanted to kick it off.
Yeah.
And this is another one where I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is the weirdest thing. This is some fucking like 20 before 20 shit. See your favorite band live.
Done,
dude. So
it's already happened. Stupid.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
40. Who the fuck waits until 40 to see their favorite band live? Like, who's your favorite band and when did you see them live? Well, but it's adjusted too. That's the other thing that I don't understand, right?
I don't have like one specific like that stands out. I have a bunch of bands that I like, and I've been to a bunch of them.
Yeah. And doesn't your favorite band shift? Like, if I would ask you that at 22, and I'm asking you that now, like there's different answers there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it's probably different when you're older too.
Right.
It's different for everybody. Right. I suppose it's a good one to hit now if you're 40, because the bands that you liked when you were a kid, there's a good chance that they're almost done touring. So quick, knock that shit out in the next couple of years, because you might never see them again.
Right.
The Rolling Stones, it's a miracle they're still touring. So if that's your favorite band, get out there while you can, because they're not all going to make it that much longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, you can just tell this is like a generic answer again, like a fill-in answer, right? Like, see your favorite fucking band live. Give me a break. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I don't have a favorite band. I'm not 100% on that. Like, I have a few favorite rappers and shit. It's like, would I call Silk Sonic a band? Fuck no, I wouldn't call them a band. But right now, they're definitely one of my favorite bands, and I want to see them live. But they've only been around for 3 fucking years. Like,
right. And do they even tour together? Right. It's like, that's 2 different artists that can go on their own tours.
Major tours.
I don't think they will probably tour as a group. It's like, here's an album we put out. Do you like the music? Yes, I do. Can I see you live? Probably not. That's probably not a thing.
Right. Because we're off making our own records and touring and making independent money. It's way easier to make money as 2 different people than it is as a group.
Right. And it's like, I guess it's more of an opportunity thing. I mean, I don't know who you people are. Like, if you think we just have unlimited funds.
Right.
It's like, what band is coming when I have an opportunity to go see somebody? Oh, them? Yes, I would like to see them.
Right.
I've seen quite a few bands. I've seen quite a few artists. I've seen almost like all my favorite ones. There's not a whole lot that I have to check off the list.
Here. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
we've been to a lot of them together. Right. We've fucking seen Eminem, 50 Cent, and like everybody that those guys came with. Like,
Luda was at one of those shows.
Luda was at the Anger Management tour. Yep. Yeah, there was all those different guys. Yeah. Exhibit was there.
Yeah.
You know, it's all these different dudes that came with, and it's just like 50 Cent had a whole bunch of dudes that I didn't even really plan on going to see, but then they just all come, and then you're just like, oh shit, now I saw all those guys too.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were coming. And it was like, I wasn't like even super into trying to see 50, but he came.
Right.
We even got to like see the Executioners.
Oh, that's right.
You know, there's so many rock bands.
So many.
Yeah. The Slipknot multiple times, like, you know, hard metal, regular rock. I've been to random ass concerts because my wife has won stuff.
Yeah.
Went to Rod Stewart. Right. That was cool. You know, like, it's just like, that's such a vague, stupid thing to say. Go see your favorite band. If they're your favorite band and you really like them that much, good chance you already saw.
I know.
Them.
Like, are you kidding me? You're close to, like, you're in your, let's just say you make this 40 before 40 list when you turn 30 and you haven't seen your fucking favorite band yet, then you're slacking. That's why I put it down. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Or you just like don't like the live music. You don't like that scene. You don't want to be part of it. I don't know if
Right.
anybody out there, like, hasn't been to a live concert like that, but I could totally see how it's not somebody's thing.
Oh, yeah.
Those speakers are so
So
goddamn
loud.
loud, you can't hear yourself talk after the
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
especially when you got the floor
Yep.
tickets. I remember us just being, like, on, like, slightly stage left, so your head's slightly turned the whole
Right.
time, and then you're just like, after the show, "I've got nothing in my left ear.
Can't hear.
This one does it nothing. Here, a little, kind of. What? What?
Yeah.
No,
Sick
nothing. This
show,
one,
right?
Yeah. Sick show. Fuck yeah.
But
Oh,
that's just like, I'm just like, you can't see your favorite band live on your 40, we'll call it 40 before 40 list. Like, come on.
dude, the funny thing to me is that this is like if it was like one person that decided to come up with the list, but this is just more proof. I think we've hit on it on other episodes now, but it's like these bloggers, it's just cookie cutter bullshit.
Yeah.
One person comes up with
Yeah, and then they
something
copy and
and
fucking
everybody
paste it,
copies it.
dude, and then change a few
Yeah.
things. It's so stupid.
Yeah, they'll cut out 2 of them because how we're shitting on everything, they'll just have a couple of them where they're like, "Well, that's quite not really what I was thinking."
I'll rewrite it.
But, like, I'm like, "This is, like, the mechanics blog, and I like that." So it's like, "You turn a wrench on your favorite car. Get underneath the hood of one of your
Yeah.
most iconic
Right.
cars." Like, everybody's got the right like, "Oh, yeah, I can just go find a Ferrari, and they'll let me under the hood."
And they're gonna let me under the hood to just, like, tinker.
Yeah. Go see one of your favorite bands live. Does everybody have those kind of funds? Do you know what it costs to go to some of these concerts?
Right. Yeah.
And now you're telling me I gotta check it off my list, and then they're just throwing it out there so you can feel like shit if you don't
Yeah.
accomplish it? I didn't finish my 40 before 40. Why? Well, because fucking U2 tickets were $250 for nosebleeds.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
totally
also, like, why
acceptable.
I'm saying is, like, you should do that shit before you're 30. Like, I'm sorry if you're in the, like, area where you don't have $110 to spend in your 20s on a ticket to a show.
Yeah.
But that's when you
Yeah.
should spend $110 on a
That's when
fucking
you should
ticket when
do
you're
it. Yeah.
23 years
Yeah.
old.
Exactly, when you have nothing else to really pay for.
Right.
Like, I mean, obviously everybody has their
Different
own
things,
different
and yes, people have
circumstances and
kids and
stuff,
they're
but yeah,
fucking, when they're 18,
remember, yeah,
16, and
you're working at Burger King, you get
right.
a $500 check, and you're like, "Ooh, shit.
Right.
This is the $500 that I'm just spending on whatever the fuck I
Right.
want," and that's going towards, I got like a little bit of gas for the car, and I got this, and it's like the leftover money, I'm going to see this
Right.
concert.
This
And
was
that's totally what we did all the time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so many of 'em. Got to see him, that's a pretty big one,
Yeah, that's right.
a band from Finland,
Right.
that's not an everyday
No, for
occurrence.
sure. Yeah. We were
Yeah,
definitely in
so
a
we
moment
definitely
there
hit
where
some
they were
cool
big enough
ones.
to come over here.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm not printing out this list and checking it off like I accomplished anything. I'm still saying, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
stupid ass
Yeah,
list."
for sure, dude. I'm right there with you. That's why I wrote it down, because I was just like, dude, I'm not checking any of these off the list. Like, I would have never even put it on there. Now, with that said, I don't know how I could write one of these up, but I definitely could. Like, I know that I could come up with 40 things. Now, give me 2 weeks. Give me 3 weeks,
Yeah,
to slowly add to it and shit. But,
right.
like, another one.
Well, I could probably do like a 40 before 40. Like, I mean, I don't wanna give you this time frame. I think that's
That's what I'm
stupid.
saying too.
But I could give you a list of goals to go out and like fishing,
Well,
like
yeah.
I think everybody could do that.
Right.
Where it's just like, here's 40, like go and catch a bass on this bait during this time of
Right.
year. Do it on this bait on this
Right.
time of year. Like, just give yourself these goals of like where you're not confident with this bait.
Right.
And then just go during the peak time and make it happen. Like, I think that would be kind of a cool list to have.
Yeah, but this
here's,
broad strokes stuff is
yeah,
it's
this
so
broad,
it's so broad that it makes you laugh. Now, some of these things
yeah,
we'll jump into some of these things where it's like, hey, I wrote this down. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good thing.
yeah.
because I'm with you. It's just like, don't these copy and paste lists are ridiculous and at many points, and then they make other good points, because as you grow older, you start to ask these questions, or like think of these questions. One, because you already said, is like, nah, I'm a dad. Like, you made a reference to that, and I kept it on the list. Skydiving, because we've been adrenaline junkies in our lives.
Yeah, me not as much as you.
Right.
Yeah, I get my adrenaline in other ways, I guess.
For sure.
Not with
So now, this close to 40, what do you think? What do you think of skydiving in general? Nope.
No.
I've been an on the fence guy. Kids, this close to 40, I'm just like, nah, I'm cool.
No, I just don't. Maybe when I'm older, but like something in me, like I don't like it to the point where I feel like I'd be one of those guys that would just black out. And I'm very, like,
I'm sorry.
I don't
laugh.
know. For
I don't mean to
like,
laugh at that.
No,
I oh fuck, dude! I didn't see that coming.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the idea. I think it feels like, the thought of it feels like so overwhelming. Like, to just the thought of free falling from that high up, because I'm not a huge fan of heights.
Yeah, me neither.
So the thought of free falling, which free falling would be dope, but the thought of free falling for a while, just waiting for the moment of when it's time to pull, and like that's the money. Like, as soon as you're gliding, I think I'd feel like $1 million bucks and just be like, oh, as soon as it's like I'm in control. But the whole not having control thing, I don't like being in control. I was just talking to my wife about this. Like, even when I play Pokemon.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with the Pokemon games, when you are like walking through certain spots, they're like trainers, and the game is set up so when you walk past the trainer's eye line, they see you and then they come over and initiate a thing. I purposely go to them from the side and I hit the A button to initiate it first. I say, you're not coming over to me. I'm coming to you, bitch. I'm picking the fight. We're doing this. Like,
you will walk around them in different ways, but even when you want to fight them, it's on your terms.
Yeah. It's on my terms. I'm starting this.
But the game is not designed that way necessarily.
Right.
You're finding a little tweak.
But I'm always initiating. So it's like, I don't know if I'm like a control freak like that. I don't like to be out of control.
Yeah.
And
which skydiving is, I think, completely out of control. And like in a way, like there's obviously some control to it. Otherwise it would be a fucking, 50-50 chance. Am I going to hit the ground or, but.
And it's kind of ironic that you said this too, because one of the things that I was just about to say too, that I was thinking about, is like, I'm also kind of I don't like authorities being told what to do. Like, I don't like if we have a relationship, if I know who you are and you're asking me to do something, or you know, even a simple like, hey, can you do that?
Right.
Like, totally cool.
Yeah.
But that's like this list in general. Here's the 40 things you have to do before you're 40. Fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. And then it says something like that.
Right.
Go skydiving.
Right.
Go suck a fart. You're going to tell me that I got to go jump out of a plane before I'm 40? Because you...
Right. Because you put this down on a blog and it happened to be a foul on 5 other fucking 40 before 40 blogs.
Yeah.
Go suck a fart directly out of an elephant's butt, dude.
Yeah. Just do it. Right up to the asshole. And just suck that fart right out of him. Don't tell me what to do. And especially when you're like, go potentially risk your life as a father before you're 40 because my blog says so. No, I will not.
That is not happening.
No. The fuck you think you are?
All right. So here's one where we'll get into where I think we're going to get into something now. I don't know about you, but for me, for sure. So it says, like this, it's just a simple 2-word thing: forgive yourself. And for me, that has a lot of where I am now in life, because I was such a fucking alcoholic in my 20s. That there's like things that aren't that big of a deal, but I still hang on them. And there are things that are big deals, like, that I should probably apologize for, but whatever, fucking whatever. I'll get to that later. But the forgiving yourself part of it is the things that, like, you did, they are who you are, they are what they were. And like, I just need to fucking let them go, because it wasn't that big of a deal, or it wasn't a big deal at all, or never even was a deal in the first place. So like, that's one that actually sunk in for me on these. It was on multiple. I'm going to tell you right now, every single one of these that I put down on the list, it was on more than one page.
Sure.
And so for that one, I was just like, yeah, God, you just kind of need to let it go. But also, it wasn't always just because of how bad the alcohol was in my 20s.
Okay.
It's the first time that I really kind of ever had to like disappoint or like purposely avoid or say no to a situation, is when you get to that age. Because up to, when you're in high school and whatever, you kind of figure out it's awkward and weird, and like you kind of don't necessarily realize it.
Yeah.
And then there's times where it's just like you're already doing a thing, and then another adult asks you to do another thing, and you're like, yeah, but I already committed to going and getting wasted with my buddies over here. Even though what you asked me is important, like also building bonds with my friends is important, and I told them 2 weeks ago. I still have those moments in my head where I'll just be showering and I'll just be like, running through mental games, and all of a sudden, bap, that shit pops up on me. And I'm like, dude, you gotta let that go. That was fucking 15 years ago. It's not a thing that you need to feel guilty about, because it wasn't even like, just because that person's thing technically was more important because you were just going to go to a hotel downtown and drink. You didn't.
Yeah.
That person didn't fucking lose their life. That person isn't like in a lower place in their career. Like you didn't have an impact on that person's life. They probably don't even fucking remember it. But I remember that. I just remember making that choice.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I chose alcohol over the more important situation. But really, it was, I chose the occasion of being with my friends that I told them 2 weeks ago, and this person sprung it on me 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that I'm just like, man, I gotta let that go.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like, I get what you're talking about with letting it go, but I don't know if it comes down to like forgiving yourself,
Yeah.
There's a lot of stupid shit that I said and did, and I feel bad about it, and I don't like reliving it all the time, and I totally get it, but it's like, I don't know if I'm really harboring it as like something that I need to let go. I think it's just something that's always like, shit has happened, and it's just there, and it's memories, and it's not anything that I have to like forgive myself over. It feels like, I don't know, it feels weird, but it feels like it's almost like a time traveling, like weird. Like, am I supposed to go back in the past and just being like, yeah, what you did there, that was it's okay, I forgive you. It's like, just like,
no,
to
that
me,
changes
it's
my
like,
view on
that's
it
not
when you
gonna,
say it like that.
yeah, to me, like, when I think about it like that, it's like, that's not gonna change anything. Like, what happened, and now it's time to look forward, even though these random ass things pop up from the past. I have a lot of weird shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and not even stuff that's like pressing like yours. Like yours sounds a little bit deeper than mine.
Yeah.
In some circumstances. Some of them are like just stupid as shit. Like there's one where, and this isn't like even a forgiven thing. It's like there's one where like in Pee Wee football, there was like I don't know if I had like a learning disability or what. There's a lot of stuff where I think back and I was like, if somebody would have told me different, I would have understood what they were talking about.
Okay.
But because of how they said it, I didn't do what was supposed to be done. And now, older, I understood. Like,
Sure.
I remember there was like a kickoff return, and I was like on the special teams deal, and they were like, stay in your lane. So I was supposed to run forward and create like a lane.
Okay.
And I didn't really. We all just kind of stood there. And the whole thing, they do the kickoff. And I don't think they explained it well to any of us because we all stood there. The ball landed like right behind me, and there's a dude like sprinting right at me. And I'm like, whatever, dude, I'm about to block this dude. You know, like he doesn't know what's coming. And he runs right at me. And as I'm about to block him, he like slides between my legs. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And he grabs the ball. And then they got the ball. The ball was right behind me the whole time.
Right.
And all I would have had to do is turn around
And grab the ball.
And I'm pretty athletic dude, and I was never given the opportunity to like run the ball.
Right.
And I think back on that sometimes, that if I would have picked that up, I would have just
been in the NFL.
It was that one moment that I just would have like schooled the whole thing, took it to the house, and they just would have been like, I guess he's a running back, because that was fucking dope. And then like that was like the only opportunity I would have had to ever like show myself. And
Sure.
It never happened. And then, you know, so it's obviously like I don't actually think I'd be in the NFL or whatever, but it's like little moments like that where it pops into my head. And for some reason I can't shake them. They never go away.
Yeah, no. We're talking about the same thing.
Like,
you're definitely helping me
it's,
look at it with a different lens, for sure.
Yeah. But it's never like I have to go back and say like, it's okay what you did there. And it was like, yeah, I mean, it's not, nobody looks at it. It's like you were talking about it. Like nobody else remembers that shit. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It was Pee Wee football. Everybody was like little.
Right.
But it's just these moments of like, something could have changed, but I can't fully let it go.
Right.
Because it's just a memory that's there.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's harboring all this stuff where I'm constantly just being like, you know, Uncle Rico. if only I would have picked up that ball.
Bet you I could throw that football over the mountains over there.
Over the mountains. Yeah. But it's like stuff like that. And then obviously there's like other deeper shit, like mistakes that I made and stuff. But like,
but the forgiving part, like right? Like I think the way you're making me look at it so different. Of the like,
there was some moments of like where I was like a bully to like certain kids a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And I had those tendencies too. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And there was some moment, and then like you think back on it, and you're just like, I was just kind of being a dick, and I don't like. I realize now that I was being a dick,
right?
But it's not something where I have to just be like, what you did was okay, and I just like I've never even had to think about it like that. I've just always been like fessed up immediately. Like it's just that moment of realization where you're just like, yeah, what I did was kind of like fucked up, but you didn't really think about it when you were a kid.
There in the moment.
You didn't think about it from the other perspective. So like for me, it's almost like I'd like to just be like, almost to those people, say like, if what I did ever affected you,
right,
in any way,
you
know, and like because you see what some of these kids are talking about and going through,
right,
and you're just like, if you were that kid on that side, and like this stupid shit that I thought was funny, was, you know, putting you in this hell because what I thought was insignificant was actually like a giant deal to you, then like I feel bad about that,
right?
But it's like I'm still not sitting here saying I have to forgive myself.
Yeah.
I think in certain
Yeah. No,
circumstances,
that's right.
it would be helpful to say sorry to these people. I have thought about some of them,
Right.
especially like later on in life.
Yeah.
Because
No, that's kind of what I
when
was
we were
saying too,
younger,
right?
yeah,
Is like I was like maybe the people, maybe it is more not forgiving myself for the situation, but like it keeps coming up and I'm thinking maybe I need to say sorry to the people? Maybe? Maybe that's
yeah,
why it's coming
because
up and
that's
like you
yeah,
can't, like you said already, you can't go back and like I don't, the more you're saying it is like, do I want to go back and pat my past self on the back and say like, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. What happened was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know now. Is it more or
yeah,
less I think about the situations and the people that were around me?
yeah, yeah, man. I don't know.
Not
It's
sure either.
I mean, there's just like one of them I feel the worst about is that like when we were kids,
No names.
like no, I'm not going to say
I didn't
names,
figure you
but
would, but I
there
just
was
wanted to
like
feel like
autism. Autism like wasn't a
what
thing,
right. I know.
you know.
Yep.
There was like the kids that were like in the special class,
Mhm.
and then like everybody else, and there was like autistic kids in the regular
Yep.
classes. And it was like I don't remember being like a super dick, but I remember like some of the like one kid in particular struggling, and like and it would be funny because of the things that they said,
Mhm.
because you're like you're so far
Right.
off of
Right.
like that's not,
Like you're not even in the
and
ballpark, man.
not even in the
Right,
ballpark. And
right,
then they like try to explain it to him, and you're just like, how are you not fucking getting
right.
this? It's not that
Yeah.
hard.
And
And
we
then
had
like
no
thinking
idea.
back on it, yeah, and then thinking back on it now, it's like, oh, you're very clearly on the
Yep.
spectrum.
Yep.
But back then we didn't
Yeah.
know, and it wasn't a
So trying to be like
it wasn't like a
quick-witted dipshit
yeah,
kids, you know, you just
yeah,
fucking fire
yeah,
something off.
yeah, and you're making your friends
Right.
laugh at their expense,
Yep.
and then you think back on it, and you're like, oh,
Right.
dude, I was totally just like ripping that
Autistic
autistic
kid.
kid
Right.
a new asshole. Like, and it was just certain it was just certain parts where like they would say something, and it wasn't like you'd like seeked out trying to hurt their
No,
feelings,
it was
but
being
they'd say something
opportunistic
so
and like
yeah,
trying to be the funny kid, or like
yeah,
you just saw an opportunity and you took it because you're
yeah.
trying
It's
to
I mean,
be in some sort of social ladder in some way and thinking that this would help you.
yeah. I mean, it's just like everybody can relate to how a roast is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might just be like, "No, it's not.
Right.
Whatever." Yeah,
Fuck those boring people.
we're not. Yeah, we're we clearly are not on the same page. But like when somebody says something dumb and then you get the chance to roast them because what they say is so far off. That was funny, but now you're like, "Oh, what you said was so far
Right.
off because you are a little off. You are not, on the
Yeah,
spectrum."
you are
Not trying
on
to
the spectrum
like
and that's why
however
it's so
yeah,
off,
you are
right?
there. It is off because you think off. It's different.
Right.
And clearly you weren't in the right class. You weren't getting taught properly.
Right.
And I think sometimes like I'm slightly not necessarily on the spectrum, but I definitely had my issues, and
Mhm.
everybody has their own like learning disabilities, and sometimes there's like ways that people explain stuff, and I'm like, I don't, the way you said it. And then like I've almost been like a dick that way too, like where like I know I'm intelligent, I know I can
Right,
grasp
right,
stuff,
right.
but what you just said meant nothing to me. Do better. Like
Yeah. Yep.
that. So like I'm roasting everybody on every occasion. Like I just want to just be like, I'm roasting the educators now. And just like, you went to how many years of school? This isn't making any sense to me. What the fuck? Step up your game.
Yeah,
It's like I'm putting it on their head. It's
for sure.
clearly it's probably my fault for not being able to understand what they're teaching me. But at the same time, I'm just like, you're dumb. What you said is dumb. That's stupid. And
Yeah.
that feels better to me to roast an educator than it does
Right, right, yeah.
autistic kid for sure. But
Of course, of course,
yeah.
of course.
But yeah, it's like it's still going back to that. I'm not I never really, I don't know.
I like the way you put it
Maybe
about
that'd be
like going
something
back and looking at yourself and like feeling the need, because forgive yourself. To
Yeah. I
me
mean,
is
for
like
me,
looking
that's
back
almost
and
like a,
saying to that person, like, you just need to forgive yourself for that moment. And it's not, you're right.
yeah.
Now, I'm not sure that I actually need, I don't know that I feel the need to forgive myself for the moment so
Yeah.
much as I do want to just
Well,
like maybe apologize
I,
to some people and just like keep looking back at that moment and just go like, that's who you are. That's why, like, it's made, that's part of who you are. And that's
yeah.
part of what made you who you are today.
Right.
And like, you're not that person anymore. So forgive yourself. No,
Yes.
you're not that person anymore. Don't
That's
forgive that
exactly it.
person. You just aren't that
Yeah.
person anymore.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I don't need to forgive that person because that person doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That
There
person
you go,
was
dude.
in the
Yeah.
past. He just like I'm who I am
Yeah.
now. That person existed
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
and he's just not here anymore.
Right. Right.
So I don't have to forgive myself because that was that
Right.
dude and I'm
Yeah.
me. You know, like it's that cliche thing of like just what you said, like I'm not that person anymore. So it's almost like just
Let that just be part of who you are today. And it's like,
separating. Yeah.
stop pretending like that person needs an apology or needs to be apologized for or apologized to
Right.
or forgiven.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that's what it really, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Told you we were going to get deep, didn't I?
We did. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Like you weren't lying. We got deep there. We're all philosophical.
And shit.
Yeah.
Hard pivot.
Maybe talk to a therapist about it, see what they say.
Right.
Just that'd be funny if the therapist was trying to say some stuff and then we dropped that knowledge on them and like we're changing their mind. You need to forgive yourself. Well, I'm not him anymore. I'm me. I'm a different person. And then they just go, "Oh shit, bro." That's deep. That'll be $500.
Speaking of $500, Tim,
Yeah.
instrument. Try an instrument. Again, such a cookie cutter fucking one, but I couldn't go past it because of the fact I don't know how much we have actually talked about this. Try an instrument. I've tried hundreds of them, but I've never been in band. Like, and I say hundreds. That's
well,
because
they literally mean like a musical instrument, or are they talking about like master
shit.
something that's not
like a compass,
is it
like a
master
math compass?
or are we talking like fishing rod and reel? Like
Dude,
that's my instrument.
Try an instrument. You know? It is that vague, and it is that vague every time. Now, they always put little paragraphs underneath this shit, but I wasn't interested in the paragraphs. I read a couple of them. Okay, I read a few, but that's not the point. It was try an instrument. And now, having said that, I interpreted this as musical instrument, and to hear there it is. That's your creative brain. It's so good.
Yeah.
To just go like instrument. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? Like, I'm fucking really good with a hacksaw. Like, that's an instrument. Right. Like, oh shit, dude. I didn't even see that coming. I went straight to musical, and I have to believe it's one of two things. I read it most of the time on these blogs, and two, I just was like, yeah, checked off. I never was in band. I never played anything more than the recorder in school, but like there was a trumpet around me and I tried that thing out, like someone like my aunt had a trumpet left over from her school years.
Yeah.
It was just laying around. We would just play with it.
Yeah.
I've messed with turntables. I've made beats in multiple electronic softwares, and it's all from, beat as in like bass line, or you can play the instrument directly, or it has, like I fucked around with so much stuff that I would call instruments as far as on a musical scale. I think I put it in that.
Yeah.
Now you right away went to like instrument. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I started thinking about other instruments too because it was like I'm just kind of making that point of how vague it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I played the trombone for a little while. Mainly because I wanted to play the drums, and like 2 people signed up for the drums before I got to the trombone, or before I went up there, and they were like, "We only have 2 drum kits. Do you want to play the trombone?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, that's what we have." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll try." And I played it a little bit, and I was like, this isn't for me. I'm not, you know. But now, like, I do see some stuff out there that's like pretty sick. Like the trombone can be used pretty cool in certain circumstances. Like horns do make pretty dope beats, but you have to have percussion with it. And that's why I wanted to be the drummer.
Right. Because you feel like that's the baseline for it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But hey, you know what else I was gonna play? What? You ever watch Married with Children?
Yeah, love it.
Here's what I'm gonna pick up. Ready?
Okay.
You hear that screaming?
Yeah. What?
That's Al Bundy playing a ham sandwich. That's the instrument I'm picking up, buddy. I'm gonna
I play the ham sandwich, bitch.
It literally, there's a whole band, and he's got a ham sandwich, and it's in his mouth, and he's just screaming it into it like a harmonica. Yeah, I'm gonna play that ham
How
sandwich.
the hell do you remember that? That's so funny, dude. Your brain works in the fucking best way, dude.
Oh yeah, it pulls up references all the time. Very weird stuff. I don't know when's the last time I thought about that, but you said instrument, and I'm like, can it be a fishing rod? Oh, can it be a ham sandwich?
Ham sandwich. Oh my god, dude, that's so funny. Okay. I don't want to drag on this topic too long, so I'm gonna skip to one. Take up martial arts. Again, one that was like on there multiple times. It's like, get healthy, work out more, take up martial arts. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. That's 3 of the same things.
Which one? Am I just you like MMA? Would you like me to go MMA?
Right. But
would you like me to just choose? Are you talking like? Would you like me to actually like get educated in the combat sports, or like what was that? What's that one?
Muay Thai?
That they were outlawing it in like certain like Chinese. I want to say it was in China in certain spots, and it's not
Muay Thai.
It's not a combat sport. It's not a combat martial arts, but it is a martial art, and it's just like movements. It's just movements.
Oh, I thought that was Tai Chi. That it was that.
Yeah, Tai Chi. I think.
Yeah. Tai Chi is the one of moving. It's not karate, because karate is complete defense technically. But I think Tai Chi is the one. And dude, this is the one I've always thought you would be really good at, because it's you. And please, if you are into martial arts, please put it in the comments and let us know. But I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm fairly accurate on this, and it's Tai Chi, and because of what you just said, and I think it's Tai Chi, and I know we're talking about the same thing, so maybe what the practices we got wrong, but it's when you are literally reading your opponent's movements and using them against them. So like you see when their punch is coming in, and so you back up.
Oh, it's like all counters.
It's all, yes, it's all counters, but you don't. It's not like you read their punch and then dip away from it to then, they're throwing a left. And so then you get to throw a left because it's the same side and now they're exposed. It's like they're throwing a punch. So you dip out of the way and you push their arm down, and their own momentum takes them to the ground. And all you had to do was like guide their arm left. It's all about using their energy against them.
Okay.
And I've always thought, like, yeah, Tim could fucking do that. Tim's crazy weird like that.
Yeah. Well, see, I think that might be something else, though, because I was even just looking. Some martial arts are for exercise, which is a part of non-combat arts such as Tai Chi. Therefore, being a martial artist is non-combat arts will not prepare anyone for real-world fighting. Because I think Tai Chi is just like kind of moving back and forth, just kind of like moving your hands. So maybe it's something that's kind of like that. But maybe Tai Chi
I think I'm
is
still
like
right,
just
though.
kind of,
isn't it?
You might be. It's just like flowing and moving with somebody. So like Tai Chi is setting you up to be able to like use somebody's energy, but it doesn't actually like teach you how to strike.
Yeah. Yes. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like you use their own momentum against them, and that's it. You never strike back. You only use their own momentum against them. So like I'm saying is like they come at you and you see the punch and you move out of the way and then you slightly deflect them, like you push on their elbow.
Yeah.
And you're only moving them a little bit left because you know that a little to the left is enough to throw them off their balance and then they fall. Like, I mean, maybe that's not what Tai Chi is, but like that's the combat style that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I guess the whole reason why I even wanted to bring this up is because it seems that going into your 40s, people, to me, the more that I listen to people as they get older, as they get closer to 40 or are in their 40s and stuff like that, they're always just like, I don't know, I got to get into some kind of martial art. I got to be like, I don't know what it is. It's like something flips in their brain and it's like some sort of like midlife crisis or something. I'm not sure, but like I hear a lot of it and I'm just like, this is too weird for me to look past. It seems like these people, these men specifically, are getting towards 40 and they feel the need to get into some sort of martial arts. And right now I'm kind of like, yeah, it's crossed my mind. But
it's like, I mean, how much do you want me to learn this martial arts?
Well, I don't know, but that's kind of why I brought it up. Is like, would this be on your list? Is this something you've thought about? Is it like, does it cross your mind?
I've always thought I like martial arts, but I also like think realistically about my job and stuff. Like I hear people talking about like rolling, you know, like doing it's not judo. What the hell is it? That they're just like where you're doing like submissions and stuff.
Oh,
and trying to choke people
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of it right now.
No, keep going with your story.
Yeah. But it's like that, like Rogan does it and stuff, and like a lot of those dudes are into it, and it's like you also hear them about like, oh, I fucked up my knee or I tweaked this, because there's real submissions.
Yeah.
And they're doing this stuff, and it's like, well, and also first off, I don't really have the time to do that plus everything else. Like I know that some of these guys do it, but they also, you know, they're successful and they have the extra time to do stuff. I work a lot of hours and there's just not really the extra time, and then just the time to be away from the family.
Right.
To just be like, well, I'm gonna go roll around on some mats with some dudes. You guys get it. You know, like, but it's, you know, like not trying to belittle it, but it's just like it doesn't fit into my situation. Plus my job is pretty physical. Like I can't really afford to fuck up my knee because I'm just trying to learn a martial art.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know, some of that stuff. But that's why I'm like, how much are you talking about learning it? Like just a little bit of learning it? Because if you're talking about mastering it, most people say that you like got to put in like 10 years before you're good at anything.
Right.
But if you're talking about just learning it a little bit, check it off my list, because I've watched like 3 YouTube videos on Kung Fu. That's no joke. I've learned how to, like, I've watched how, like, the beginning steps of Kung Fu on YouTube. I'm just like in the, you know, doing that. Just, I watched a couple different styles too.
Sure. Yeah. Because like there's different
the
styles.
Crane style. And dude, for sure. Yeah. It's interesting to me that there's like, it's all falls under this big umbrella of Kung Fu. but there's like 20 different styles, and it's all fighting and moving, but you're fighting and moving, kind of mimicking an animal in your movements.
Is that
and
where
it's
like
just
tiger
like,
style comes from and shit like that? That's
yeah,
kung
there's like
fu.
crane style and snake,
Yeah, dude.
all that stuff. That's all kung
That's
fu.
so sick.
Yeah, I've always been interested in kung fu ever since I was a little kid. And then like the shows come out too,
Wu-Tang, baby.
and they make it Wu-Tang, yeah. And then like Kung Fu, the show. You ever watch Kung
Oh, yeah.
Fu? Yeah, that's a dope show too. And then like you realize it's not real when you get older, and they're just like,
Right.
yeah. Remember the guy that had the shaved head in the Kung Fu? Yeah. No, he's not like even remotely Asian, and he died from autoerotic asphyxiation. And you're like, oh, that's neat, cool. Yeah,
Way to go out in style, I
40
guess.
before
Oh, that's horrible.
40 before 40. went out checking out that last one. Is that on there?
Let me check.
Take some sexual risks.
Yeah. Go out on
Take
top.
some
It says.
sexual
It
risks.
just says go out on
Go
top.
out on top. Go out on top.
What we were talking about was jujitsu, though, and everybody says that is like. And so I wonder if it's just like I don't want to say the Joe Rogan effect, because it isn't just that. It's just like, oh damn it! You hear that?
Yeah. Oh damn!
My water softener is going off. That's okay. Let's just try to get through this. Anyways, the reason why they're saying that, like, so it's because jujitsu. Everybody says jujitsu is the one that will get you into a real world fight, get you in and out of a real world fight.
Yeah,
the best. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to think is like, I don't know, where are these fucking people living? Like, where are these 40-year-olds just like getting this desire that they're just like, I don't know, man. Look at all these kids. They're gonna fuck me up.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you live in that world.
Right.
But like you said, there's all these like, the way we see it on the internet, we see it as like successful older people who have the free time to go and get good at jujitsu. So like, who the fuck is going to try to kick their ass? Like, they just hire security. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Is it an internet thing? Is it just a penetration of internet, or is this a real thing that happens when you're 40? Because it's crossed my mind too.
I mean, because Rogan's so big, I think he has a very good selling point of it, because he talks about it like, because Rogan is like a world-class kickboxer. Like when he was younger,
his fucking legs are like tree trunks, apparently.
Yeah, he was winning like championships and like just the kickboxing or whatever. And then he moved on from that, and he thought like, oh, I'm talent, I can fight, I know what I'm doing. And then he like did jujitsu, and he was just like, I just got ragdolled.
Got his ass handed to him.
It was embarrassing. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, he said it was like the great equalizer. And I think because he has such a big platform, I think he really understands that. Plus, I think it also is a huge part. And I think he even decided to go for it because of the UFC, the original, like when it started before there was weight classes and stuff.
Okay.
Hoist Gracie was a jiu-jitsu guy, and he went out there against these big bad dudes that came trying to strike him and stuff, and he would just like pull guard. Like he would just let these guys like go on top of him and try to like ground and pound.
Okay.
And they just had no idea what jiu-jitsu was. And he just like grabbed their arms and submit them, or he'd like climb on their backs and choke them out. And it was like, look at this little dude. And these big guys stand no fucking chance, because they just don't
understand how to defend that. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll land a couple of good shots, but eventually he'll grab onto them and he'll choke them out, or he'll, break their fucking elbows or whatever.
Right.
And it's just, I think that inspired Rogan. And I think Rogan talking about that on his giant platform is kind of a combination. And then the UFC too, like everybody's just getting way more educated.
Sure.
On what it is.
Sure.
It's evolved so much. So I think that's a huge part of it.
So making a list, does this make your list? Does like finding martial arts, whatever, does it make your list?
all my list is like contingent on everything.
Yeah.
Like, sure, being able to do that, not before I'm 40. Fuck you. Like, if I want to do something, I'll do it whenever I get a chance. That's my whole thing is like, how dare you try to put a time limit on it? If it's something that I want to do, I'll get around to it when I get the chance, because there's so many other things that I want to do to stop doing the other things that I'm trying to accomplish and take time out of my day.
Right.
To go accomplish these other goals just because, like, skydiving isn't something you can just be like, oh, I'm going to go do it today. Like, you have to learn some stuff. You can't just be like, all right, strap that other dude to my back and let's get it. You know, like, you have to put time and effort into all this stuff.
Right.
And to tell people that they have to go do it just because it's a list that you make.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. It's just,
I know.
No. So
I got you, man.
No, I've also been like doing my own form of martial arts since I was like 5 in the garage with a stick
and a bag of Doritos.
So, yeah, dude, and the easy cheese. Get real white trashy with it. I was thinking about it the other day. You know, you get them Doritos that are like half curled over.
Yeah.
And then you take that easy cheese and you spray it in there like this white
tube.
Yeah. You got that white trash Eau Claire.
It is. That's something 40 before 40. That's one of the fucking goals you need to put on there.
See, that's the kind of stuff is like, you never heard of white trash Eau Claire. You ain't living. Hit that before you're 40. Like real attainable goals, not like, let's not get crazy with it. But I guess if you work, you know, you got some like cushy job where you got money to burn, whatever. Yeah, go get your goals.
Get after it. Get after that idea
all this
of
stuff.
You know.
Yeah, if you're so unoriginal and you can't make goals yourself or just figure out what you want to do with your life, that you have to have some blogger make a list of 40 things you can go check off, then I guess go.
That is what this turned into, is just us hating on the lists, pretty much. But I mean, we got into it. We got into it too, so it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, there's a little bit of it, but yeah. What else you got?
That's it, man. That's it for now. Let's wrap this shit up. Let's wrap it up. Right. Let's do the old like and subscribe and stuff like that. I think if you go over to the Spotify app and you subscribe and follow and all that shit, then it will be a place where you could leave a review as well. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, on the app though. Again, I think you have to be on the app to do that, because I'm on the PC and I don't see a place to review. Give 5 stars and all that shit. So go over there, do that. Like and subscribe on YouTube for sure. We if you know what, to keep that short, just go listen to the last podcast, the 2023 goals, 2022 wrap up. You'll want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Things are going to be, I think, getting different there this year. Shit, Tim, back me up. Social media.
Yeah. RealAF.TV on Instagram.
Yep.
RealAF TV everywhere else.
Yeah, right? if you just do a search for Real AF TV, remember real like fish and reel.
2 E's.
2 E's. That's right. You'll find us. The screen names change a little bit because of the way of the, like, some you have to have an underscore, some you have to use a period, you can't use a period, all that stuff. But just look us up. Just look it up. Real AF TV, real like fish and reel. You'll find us for sure. We're out there. We're not on TikTok yet. You know, maybe we'll get there.
It exists, but we just don't have any.
Yeah, we just don't have any content yet. But hey. Again, go back to listen to the next podcast. Yeah, that's it. I think for the likes and subscribes and everything like that. Patreon. I just want to give that a shout out because you know what? We're going to go off the radar, and maybe going off the radar is a thing here, because we got more conversation happening. So try yoga. Tim, I do yoga every once in a while. Have you ever tried yoga? Like, try yoga is a dumb fucking thing anyway, because I tried yoga.